Hello boys and girls! Today we have an activity on naming some 3D shapes, finding out how many faces they have, how many edges they have, and how many vertices they have. So let's get started. You will need this page in your packet, okay? So go ahead and find this page in your packet for me. It is labeled with Tuesday, April 21st up at the top. You will need this page and the page behind it. You don't even have to tear them out of this packet. You can leave them right there stapled together. If you'll notice, there is a blank one at the bottom. If you want to take your pencil or whatever you're using, I'm using a marker so it's easier for you all to see. You can put an X through that bottom one because we won't need it because it's blank, okay? What I would like to do first is start by naming all of the shapes and writing the names down. Now, I might go a little bit faster for the sake of this video, so please, 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 if you're at home, stop and pause the video so you're not rushed, okay? You have this 3D shapes paper in your packet. No, it is not color, it is black and white, but this paper is in your packet as well to help you spell the names of the shapes. Okay, so the first one is a cube. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over. The name is a cube, and I will write that on the first line. Okay, I'm going to work down the column today. So the next shape, can you guess what shape is next? If you said cylinder, you are correct. So I'm going to flip my page and I will write cylinder. And again, if I'm going fast, just pause the video, okay? All right, next one. If you need to look at your 3D shape paper to help you out, you can, and I noticed that this looks like the rectangular prism. Okay, it's a long word, so you might have to write small. I'm going to write 2 lines, okay? So rectangular, and then prism, just so it all fits in one spot. Okay, I know it's hard to write small, but give it a try if you can. And the last shape, this one's confusing. These two sometimes we tend to mix up. But this one is the pyramid, and I know it's a pyramid because it has the square at the bottom. Okay, so again, I'll flip my paper and I'm going to write pyramid. You can also use your 3D shapes paper to help you spell the names of all the shapes. All right, going back up to the next side. This one is my triangular prism, and I can tell because the front face is a triangle. So I'm going to do the same thing I did for rectangular prism. I'm going to write small, and I'm going to take up 2 lines. Okay. My next shape, we're actually going to skip the next shape so you can put an X through that. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that before we started. Okay. All right, so we can put an X there. And sorry, my last shape that we're going to do today is a cone. It looks like an upside down ice cream cone. So I will label this box cone. Okay. All right, so now that we have everything labeled, we can go ahead and get started. First, it wants us to count the edges, and edges are straight lines, okay? Straight lines. So I can use this, but it's a little bit hard to show you all of the lines. So what I would suggest is getting a marker or a crayon at home and tracing over all of the edges. So I will go around the shape as neatly as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now do you see these dotted lines? That's showing you like the back of the shape. So I will have 10, 11, 12. So a cube has 12 edges. Okay? Now we need to do the faces. And the faces are, again, they're a little bit hard to tell. So I made that line really sloppy up here, boys and girls. Okay? The faces are the flat surfaces. Okay? So I'm going to try and show you on my cube here. I hope it's not too confusing. But I have 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so that's 2. Okay, I have 1 on the front, 3, 1 on the back, 4, and 1 on each side, 5, 6. So my cube has 6 faces. Okay, then vertices are all the points, okay? All the points on the shape. So you can do this, you can follow me on here, or you can put them, you can circle them on your paper. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This back one, 7 and 8. Okay, I'm actually going to grab a different colored marker for next time I do that. Okay, I'm going to grab a blue one. Okay, so that is for the cube. Now let's move to the cylinder. Okay, so the cylinder, we wrote its name already. The first thing we have to find are its edges. And remember, edges are flat, straight lines. Okay, so if we look at my shape, I don't actually have any flat, straight lines. I have some curved lines up here, but that's not technically an edge. And these are not edges on here, okay? Because my shape is completely round along the sides. So I know looking at the paper, it's a little bit hard to see, but there are 0 edges on a cylinder, okay? Now faces on a cylinder, those are the flat parts, okay? So there is 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so that's 2. You can also mark them on here with your marker or your crayon, whatever you were using. 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. So there are 2 faces. Okay. And boys and girls, do you think there's any vertices in a cylinder? Are there any points on my cylinder? No, there's no points on my cylinder. So a cylinder has 0 vertices. Okay? All right, let's move to the rectangular prism. We have to count edges first. And remember, edges are all the straight lines. So I'm going to go ahead and trace those with my marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now don't forget about the back ones. 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there are 12 edges in my rectangular prism. So go ahead and record 12 down. Okay, next we need faces, and those are all the flat edges. So this is similar to the cube, only it's longer, right? So I have one on top, one on the bottom, that's 2, one on the front, one on the back, so we're up to 4, one on the left, and one on the right. Okay, so that was 6. 6 faces. Okay, now I'm going to switch my marker this time so it's better, easier for you to see the vertices, and vertices are all the points. So let's go ahead and mark them. 1, 2, 3, this back one, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and go ahead and record 8 for vertices. Hey, did you notice what I noticed? The cube and the rectangular prism have the same attributes. And that's because the cube and the prism are very, very similar, the rectangular prism, only the rectangular prism is stretched out. Okay? All right, let's move to the pyramid here at the bottom. Remember, the pyramid has the shape of a square on the bottom. Okay? So we need to look for edges first. So that's all the straight lines. I'm going to highlight them with my marker. 1, 2, this one is tricky. 3, I'm doing the dark black line first. 4, 5, now there's that dotted line hiding behind there. I'm going to get that one. 6, and then the 2 on the bottom. 7, and 8. Okay, take your time. There are 8 edges in the pyramid. Sorry, 8 edges in the pyramid. All right, let's go ahead and count flat sides on the pyramid. I'm going to try and show you with my, my block over here. Okay, so I have one in the front and one in the back, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't forget that one hiding there on the bottom, 5. So my pyramid has 5 faces. So let's go ahead and record down 5 faces. Okay, and now let's go ahead and count points. If you want to, we can look at my shape, and we could look for all the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there in the back. Or we can circle them on our paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't forget that one hiding there in the back. 5. So my pyramid has 5 vertices. Whoops. 5 points. Okay? All right, let's go back up to our triangular prism. We have to count edges first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget the dotted lines. 7, 8, 9. 9 edges. Okay, now flat surfaces. 1 in the front, 1 in the back. That's 2. 1 on the right side, 3. The left side, 4. And on the bottom, 5. Okay, so 5 faces in the triangular prism. All right, time for the vertices. That's all the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's go ahead and record 6 vertices. And lastly, we have our cone. All right, our cone is a little bit similar to our pyramid, or our cylinder up here. Okay, there are no flat, straight edges in our cone. So our